Rodgers potentially retiring
over this
for
story.
the third year in a row.
And I got to tell you, I don't blame him.
Thank you.
Here's the deal. Why will Aaron Rodgers is so concerned about what he calls fake news and about dishonesty in media? You're basically in the media at this point with your weekly McAfee
Right.
appearances.
That's a good point.
So be honest. You're not walking away from $60 million guaranteed next year. If he plays, he gets $60 million.
Seems nice.
If he retires, he does not. He fought this offseason for the new contract, which guaranteed him the $60 million. By signing the new contract, if he hadn't signed the new contract, he would be a free agent this offseason. Free as a bird, do whatever he wants. Seems attractive to him. Instead, he got the new deal. And they lost Devontae Adams. They did all this. And now, I understand him being annoyed, by the way, if it's like, of course, this has got nothing to do with Christian Watson, whether or not I come back.
Sure.
But just say, and you know what, I'll put it all to bed. I'm coming back. I just signed an extension. Do I know that I'm going to play the whole extension? No, but I'm coming back. That's what's frustrating, Coach. And you nailed this a year ago when you said, you know how to make Aaron Rodgers feel better? Give him more money. And they did, and he did feel better. I just think it is close. Barring something terrible injury-wise, I think there's a 0% chance, Coach, he's not playing next year.
Yeah, how many discussions have we heard this year about Aaron Rodgers in personnel meetings? Or involved in anything related to personnel? Remember that was the big issue? He wanted more impact. No, it was about the contract. That's all it was about is the contract. Do you know how many episodes of Jeopardy you have to host to get $59 million? I don't know either, but I'm guessing a lot. So, yeah, and after that, it's $49 million. So he's not retiring this year, and he's not retiring the year after. Wow. He'll be there for the next couple of years, and it won't matter whether the hand signals are right with the rookie wide receivers or, you know, whether or not they bring his friend back to play. None of that matters. It matters that the money, the hand signal is like this.
And Brew, to be clear, I don't begrudge him the money. I just think this whole thing is a charade. The idea that he doesn't know for certain he's coming back next year.
And I hate the term fake news. It's so easy and dismiss it. It's just
no, and I'm with you guys. And I don't mind. I'm not mad at him for wanting $60 million either. But it's more. What does bother me a little is I think it's more about the money than winning. He didn't mind losing one of the best receivers in the league.
But
like you said, he could be. I'm sure he wants to win, of course. But is he going to make the type of sacrifices Tom Brady made financially? It's not like Aaron Rodgers has been playing for pennies most of his career. And so he didn't mind losing Adams. Now he could be a free agent. Like a Brady who's looking at, okay, where can I go and win a Super Bowl? Rodgers not thinking like that because they're not going to win a Super Bowl. They might be better next year, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl in these
smart
next 2 years.
people picked him to make it this year.
Well,
I don't know what happened
to him. Again,
they're alive. Things are looking up.
Friendly reminder, this is the scenario. It's one of a few scenarios that Aaron Rodgers would. Well, you know, we just let people peruse it at their leisure. So, Brew, you kind of went from a Packers non-believer to a believer this year. If they somehow get in, which is very small chance, would you think that the Packers are dangerous?
Honestly, yeah.
I do too.
If they got in, because that means they will have won 5 straight games. They will have beat Miami, Nick. And I know you like to poo-poo Miami, but Miami's a good team. They will have beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
They will have beaten a hot Detroit Lions team. I mean, really, if they get into the playoffs, now, do I think they would win the NFC? No, because he didn't win the NFC when he was at his best.
To the playoffs.
So I don't think he's going to win the NFC in a diminished role. But I do think they would be as dangerous as anybody not named the 49ers or the Eagles.
Really? Do you think they'd be dangerous, Coach?
Yeah, I agree with Chris 100%. If you go into the playoffs with a five-game winning streak, winning against those 3 teams, and Miami winning at Miami in this weather it's tough. And they're playing. Look, they're not where they want to be, but that's going to be a tough win. And then the other 2 teams are going to be a tough win too. So you're going in red hot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got momentum. They'd be dangerous. You don't want to play a team that's hot going into the playoffs.
All right, just level set here for a moment. 331 teams in NFL history have had a stretch in their season where they lost 7 out of 8 games. How many of those teams made the playoffs?
One.
Anybody? One. Good job, Wilds.
Well,
it was actually the Washington Commanders a couple of years ago when 7-9 won the NFC East. How many of those teams won a playoff game? Well, it would be 0. So they'd be the first team to ever be that bad in the regular season to win a playoff game. That's just a fact.
You don't want to play Aaron Rodgers.
Can I just say, the Jets, right? They came back and won a game where they had a 99.5% chance of losing, right? Mm-hmm. And then another team came back this year and won a game that they were down 33-0.
Yes.
This is the season of Disney. This is the make-believe season where anything's possible.
I understand that, but the reason we would believe anything's possible with the Packers is because they have Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But what if their quarterback were Derek Carr? Would we say if they snuck in, they'd be okay? I'm just curious. No,
okay. What if Kansas City didn't have Patrick Mahomes?
Right.
Who we think they have?
Exactly. The problem is, and we can show it quickly, I think, and I spoiled the blind reveal. Guess what? One guy's Rodgers, one guy's Carr. They're the same guy. So the thing is, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers is no longer Aaron Rodgers. Trivia question: how many times a year has Aaron Rodgers thrown for 300 yards? Anybody? 0.
None.
275 yards? 0. 260 yards?
Yeah,
0.
I will say this, Wilds. Over their last 5 games, Nick, they've got 16 offensive touchdowns. Over their first 9, they had 17. So they're heating up.
Okay. Guys, they're not making the
they could be a
playoffs.
problem.
And if they make the playoffs, they will be one of them.
But you think Tampa Bay?
I don't think.
After Warriors got rolled in the Garden yesterday, no Steph, obviously, no Andrew Wiggins either. Currently at 11th seed. Brew, how much trouble are the champs in?
Well, it's all based on the injuries. And I know they're not playing well on the road. But this is a Western Conference that is there for the taking. All right? And if they can tread water, and that's a big if, they've looked bad without Steph. They're 1-5 without Steph Curry, who's having a tremendous year. All right? And he's out for the next month or so. And if they fall apart during that time, and Andrew Wiggins is out too. So it's not just Steph. I mean, these last several losses, Wiggins has missed the last few weeks and won't be back immediately. So that's one reason that they're struggling so badly. All right. If they've got to tread water, because I feel like I'd say that to have a chance to win the West, they got to finish in the top 6, which is going to be hard, which is going to be hard. So they got their work cut out for them because of these injuries. No
Wilds.
doubt. I'm not going to sit here and sugar.
You know what the kids would call that 90 seconds from Brew right there? A whole lot of cope. Just
cope?
Cope. That's what the kids say. When you're just trying to deal with what you know is disastrous.
I don't know this.
You do know.
No.
They are the number 13 ranked offense in the league, and that was Steph's played most of the year. They're the number 21 ranked defense. Okay, well, Brew, again, when we talk about you do a great job when you talk about football of talking about the actual players who are out there. Basketball, you're like in 2K mode. You're like, this guy's hurt,
more
and this guy's that, and then
it's 82 versus 17.
I understand,
That's
but
a
Steph
big
is
deal.
not going to be. I'm going to the Nets Warriors tonight. Is Steph playing?
No.
I don't think he's playing for the next month. And by the way, they're 25 and 68 without Steph since Katie left. They're 3-15 on the road this year. That is the worst in the NBA.
Correct.
Right now, I have a question, Wilds. With Wiggins out and with Steph out, do the Warriors have a current player that you would say is good?
Jordan Poole's good.
Oh, stop it.
He's averaging 27 points in December. He's carrying.
Jordan Poole is good. Klay Thompson is good.
Hold on.
Draymond Green is good. Draymond made your tears.
Okay, so Draymond and Klay made the top 55 based on legacy and based on what they have proven they can be in the playoffs. Jordan Poole has not been good this year. Jordan Poole, but absolutely unequivocally over the course of the season. That's another weird thing you do, Brew, is you do these arbitrary beginning points. You're like, well, hey, Jonathan Kuminga, you did it the other day. You're like, well, over the last 7 days and 6 nights, Jonathan Kuminga's playing better.
He has shown improvement.
Okay, well, he did briefly, and now then he went back to being Kuminga the last couple weeks. Like, so the Warriors are not a good team. And I tried to figure out if they could, what their plan was, turn it around to check out the latest Draymond pod, but he stopped podding after he slugged Jordan Poole, which is kind of weird because he was dedicated to the pod as he was to basketball. Be all business. So I don't know. Well, I don't know, but both were business. I'm not sure. So I don't know what their answers.
Can I ask you another question? Mm-hmm. 3-15 on the road, worst NBA right now, worse than the Magic, Frisky Magic,
worse than everyone.
Worst ever for a defending champion. So there's a lot of teams in the NBA. You're the champs. I mean, yeah, you got your star out, but you still are better than the Magic. To me, that says there's some fundamental problem with the culture of the team, that you can't win a game on the road.
Look, I will say this. We may not know. Is the punch still a factor? Maybe. We may not know this until a couple years from now.
We know it now.
I don't know that
they stink. They're the team that won the title last year. They brought everyone back. They're not good.
Okay, but hold on. If we just talked about this last week, if Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis is ever healthy and LeBron is healthy, do they have a shot?
Sure.
Okay, you're going to tell me if the Warriors are fully healthy, they don't have a shot? The Lakers do, but the Warriors don't?
Because I think LeBron can maybe keep the Lakers afloat without AD. The Warriors don't have anyone to keep them afloat without Steph.
Well, this is the silver lining.
Okay, go.
This is a chance for Clay to get right. For Kuminga to step up, for Jordan Poole to get right. I'm with you in that. Get it together. They might find themselves on the buzz list too.
They're on the buzz list.
They might be.
Wow.
They might be.
When Brew was talking about basketball